very entertaining right up until the end of the day today. Welcome once again, welcome one, welcome all, welcome to you out there listening to the broadcast. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info. Game On is the show, and we are Femi and the Gang. And you know, when it's past 7, it's time to give you the very latest in the world of sports. So many things going I beg your pardon, going down in the world of sports. I always don't like it when that happens to me on air, but we are humans after all. So many things happen in the world of sports, and together with my crew and you out there listening to the broadcast, we'll give you the very, very best. You may not be here in the studio, and you may think you're far away, but you're so close to us. So says Chad Kruger. One part of the Nickelback crew, more like. So welcome to the broadcast on that very, very exciting note. You know, you've got the very latest and the best of rock songs on Tuesdays with me, and it promises to be quite exciting indeed. I am Samuel Victor Akman, bidding you warm welcome to the show, and it's time to meet the rest of the guys in the studio. It's a loaded house and loaded package it surely will be today on the broadcast. Where do I start? Let's make welcome to the man seated very, very close to me by my right hand side, Anthony, looking very, very different. New Year feel, I guess it is. But Anthony, good to see you, man. Welcome to Game On.
Yeah. Welcome, Sam. Thank you for welcoming me. But I mean, when you say I look different,
you certainly do look different.
How do you mean?
You know how I mean. You know how
it is radio. It's are we streaming live? We should be.
Yeah, we should be in a couple of minutes.
Okay. So maybe the fans can go check what is different in the way I actually look. But yeah, excited to be here. Lovely day, and lots have been brewing. Really, lots of talking points. Looking forward to enjoying every bit of the show.
All right, there you have it, the voice of Anthony, the voice on the broadcast. And let's also say good evening to Adeze Michael, who's here and raring to go. Adeze, how are you doing? Welcome to the broadcast.
Coconut head. Anyway, I like your shirt, but is that why you've been doing shakara all day? Like carry yourself like one big man.
How hard is it to admit that you like something? I mean, if you
please, it's the shirt, not the person wearing the shirt. Please, don't get it twisted. The shirt.
I never said you like the person wearing the shirt.
Is that why
I said if you like something, say you like it.
Is that why you're not doing shakara?
Is that why you've been looking at me all day?
See, are you no? Well, good evening, Lagos, Sam. You're not going to put me into trouble. No. Of course, always really a huge, big pleasure to be here Tuesday night. Sam, it's special. We look forward to it, and we're here to feast.
All right, certainly here to feast, and certainly no, by no means the least. Let's welcome the Oga of the broadcast. The man with the rhymes, the one who's got the best of flows, and together, you can never go low, even though he's riding solo. That didn't connect.
No, it's not riding solo, apparently.
That didn't connect. But let's make welcome to Chuma Noli. Chuma, very good evening to you. Welcome to the broadcast.
Officially, let's ordain the most high-profile personality in the studio for this evening. Is the guy by your immediate right. The guy's rebranded. He cannot be caught stranded. He cannot be caught red-handed. He's giving the fans and the ladies what they demanded for.
That's it.
Don't do this.
This is, I don't know, here and Brownish now. I don't know if we're going to be having hair-making competition. But something to look forward to in 2022. Anthony with the brand new look, and it's lovely, actually. Great to see you guys. First Game On show on a Tuesday in 2022, right? So we thank God for life. I'm happy to be here, Sam.
All right, welcome, guys. So the most important, like I always love to say, part of this broadcast is you listening to us here, whether you're at home chilling with your wife or children, or whether you're on your way home from work. It seems like we're not back to the work mode yet. The roads are still free. Some companies, or I don't know, they're still yet to open. The road I came from the mainland here, it was pretty free. And I was like, am I sure I'm heading to work? I mean, it's unusual to drive so freely.
It depends on the part of the mainland, island.
Yeah, I'm coming from. When I say drive, as if I drive, really. But it was looking quite. I wish it would stay like this all through the year. But we know by next week, some say it will be all back to the hustling and bustling. But we are here to give you the very latest. And there's so many things to sink our teeth into today. Big interview granted earlier on today by the Nigerian Football Federation President Amaju Pinnick, and he's had so much to say as concerns the appointment of host Jose Peseiro as the new Super Eagles manager. He's made some very, very interesting revelations as to how that appointment came about and how we can move forward from here. Looking at that one, there's also talk about the Australian Open. Novak Djokovic in the news. Romelu Lukaku and Chelsea. Are they back to lovey-dovey ways? We wait to see how that one is. And of course, our continued build-up or countdown to the African Cup of Nations continues from the 8 p.m. hour. We'll be giving you the very latest when it comes to the African Cup of Nations. But in the meantime, let's make welcome to another man who joins the broadcast. And he goes by the name Chigozie Brown. Brownish, welcome to the broadcast. Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was telling you.
All right, 6.
Yeah, but
I'm confused. That's supposed to be 6.
it's not working.
It's supposed to be 6. It's not working.
It's rerouted.
Obi must be on.
Yeah.
So you.
Mm.
Is it Obi Ezekwesili? Obi.
Yeah, so what I was about to say was that it's really fantastic to be here, but I'm sure it's going to be weird for the listener, considering that I'm
seeing you
usually
on
not
a
here on
Tuesday.
Tuesday broadcast if it's not UEFA Champions League. But really, really
Is that
great
why you
to
came
be
in
here.
with bottled water? So you don't have cause to stutter.
No, I was just forming a Jabota. That's the vibes. Yeah, but really, really great to be here. It's a Tuesday, it's a start of new beginnings, and I guess we need to get on and popping.
All right, so welcome once again. And like I said, so many things to talk about today. I'm even confused as to where to start the broadcast from. But they say it's always good that you start from home and to charity waka come from house. So let's start from the Nigerian continent. From the Nigerian football scene.
Geography
And it's all
certainly isn't
about-
your strong suit.
Actually scored an A.
Yeah, but
My geography teacher must be disappointed right now.
No, everybody will score 8.
It's just one of those things, yeah.
It's actually one of my
It's just-
favorite,
Courses.
subjects. Back
Yeah,
in-
because some things
geography.
because he likes hard rock, that he knows what geography is all about.
Because
But I actually do know what geography is all about.
Yeah.
Don't mind you. I see what you did.
Punchline. Nice one.
I actually do like.
Bars.
Okay, what was your favorite subject back in school?
English, actually. My mom was an English teacher, so yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. It was biology for me, really. Just easy stuff.
my
But I used to detest biology.
Are
It
you
had
serious?
this giant note.
Would
It was until I was in like
Ababio.
SS2.
would you
That
believe
No,
this?
that was
It's
chemistry.
chemistry
Ababio
that
was
didn't work
chemistry.
for me.
Would you
at all.
believe
Chemistry
this?
didn't
Essential
work for me.
biology
That
was
my-
more
that my
for
mom-
biology.
Yeah.
is a French scholar.
Amazing.
We wouldn't know by you. You they die here nowadays. You don't spoil. We would not know.
And what was your favorite subject back in school?
English language.
Oh, so we got a
Geography.
lot of geography. Why do we have things in common?
Economics.
Why do we have things?
I just like school.
Yeah, I like.
She looks the part. She's
I-
a bookie.
No,
I've
no,
always
no.
liked book.
Nerd.
English, geography, economics, government. I was just everywhere.
Oh yeah, I like government too, but then again, that was like half against my entire religion.
Well,
so
unfortunately,
I
I'm a
partially
science
decided-
Is it the one for the people,
You're
by the
science
people,
student,
and with the
really?
people?
No,
I'm,
just
I'm science.
no, my own.
Really?
I believe in my
I
own
don't look
government.
science, right?
You certainly don't. Science students are like
Purely science
geeks, glasses and all
I'm
that.
a science student.
No, be everybody we wear glasses, sabi book.
Yeah. Let's.
Some is
No, I
my
didn't.
physics.
Of all 5 of us, who looks like a science student?
Nobody. He's now only Mr.
Chuma, no, Chuma.
I'm not
Obviously,
Last
Chuma.
time I checked, he's a lot of science
Obviously,
students.
Chuma.
She now let me do
Like
science
all
students.
those bad
Obviously.
physics guys.
You
Like
know,
to solve
Tony
that.
resemble all those boys when they stop for gate. Tell them we are talking. Talking. Why you wearing sandals?
SS2F. It's not for back.
Then when they do, when they recite timetable, that Tony them they give soundtrack. Everybody they shout 2 times. Tony them they give.
So this is how our Tuesday is gonna be now with Brad.
What can I
We need to
say?
take him off the show.
We will for sure. Going forward, we will. Yes.
I can't believe we spent the last 15 minutes,
Yes.
really chit chatting.
Tuesday shows are usually town hall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
The time about to be late, fam.
he has to confirm.
We about to be turning up.
Are we bonding me out of the Tuesday show?
All right,
Go
we've
ahead
got,
like
we've got
that,
about
fam.
7 minutes before we go on a break. But guys, remember we're live streaming on Facebook, Nigeria Info FM 9, Nigeria Info Lagos 993. If I'm not so mistaken about that address,
Nigeria Info FM
Nigeria
99.3.
Info 99.3. That's on Facebook. On YouTube, we're Nigeria Info FM. And of course, those are the 2 platforms via which you're streaming. You can also send us your messages on WhatsApp 080-9597-5805. 080-9597-5805 on WhatsApp. Phone line 0700 993 993. That's our regular lines. And female callers, you can dial 01465 71 014657190. Let's get the show on the road and start from the Nigerian scene where the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Amaju Pinnick, has heaped praises on the newly appointed Super Eagles manager, talking about Jose Peseiro, saying, and in his words, he was impressive during the interview, which saw him, elected or selected or appointed as the Nigerian Super Eagles manager. Pinnick was actually speaking to the media ahead of the Super Eagles' departure for the African Cup of Nations to Cameroon on Wednesday. That's actually tomorrow. Peseiro, you remember, was appointed manager last month to replace the sacked Gernot Rohr, and he will only take charge of the team, after the African Cup of Nations. Now, Pinnick said, and I take a quote from him, if you look at Peseiro, when I was talking to him, he was talking as if he had been coaching the Super Eagles for a long time. He said to me, listen, Nigeria, you played against Croatia at the 2018 World Cup in your World Cup opening match. They did not over-dominate you. It was 45 to 55% ball possession. And he said Croatia eventually played in the finals of the World Cup. So it could have been Nigeria playing in that final, the words of Jose Peseiro. And Pinnick went on to say, I got impressed. He brought the Wiscot, a software to analyze the strength of our players. He gave me the analysis of everyone and our players scientifically. I was taken aback when he spoke with the technical group. I was just an observer. We were all impressed with him. That's the words of Amaju Pinnick. But don't take my word for it. You're going to get to listen to the voice of Amaju Pinnick himself speaking about this as to the appointment of Jose Peseiro. Let's take a listen to him.
He grew up with Jose Mourinho.
Okay.
He grew up with, they grew up in the same neighborhood. They were friends and they be friends, So I also spoke with Arsene when I was in Doha.
As a vendor.
Yeah. He's the technical director of FIFA. Every day we're always together.
So it comes highly rated.
No. So I spoke with Arsene, about coaches. Then I put a call through to Jose that I hear you know this guy. What do you think about him? And I know what he told me. And also, said, well, it's not limit. I'll listen. I need to talk to my minister because we work in very good harmony. So, and he did that. So it's not because he was pushing by particular. He just said, listen, he's a very, very good coach. He's very hungry for success. And if you look at Peseiro, when I was talking to him, he was talking as if he has been coaching the Super Eagles for a long time. He said to me, he said, listen, Nigeria, you played against Croatia in the World Cup, in your opening match. They did not over-dominate you. It was 45, 55% ball, possession. I'm coming. And he said, Croatia eventually played in the finals of the World Cup. It could have been Nigeria playing in the finals. That maybe one or two things were not done rightly. That was a coach thinking. And I got impressed. And he brought the Wise Scout. The Wise Scout is a software to analyze the strength of your players. He gave me the analysis of every one of our players scientifically. I was taken aback. And when he spoke with the technical committee, when they were doing it, I was just like an observer. We're all impressed, and that's it.
All right, the words of Amaju Pinnick talking about the appointment of the Nigerian Super Eagles manager, that's Jose Peseiro. He said he was very impressed, and the man brought software and laptop and was explaining, things about the Super Eagles, like he had known the Super Eagles or been coaching the Super Eagles for a very, very long time. We'll dissect this just after the break, but he also spoke about some of the aspects as to the manager and a lot of things he had to say. But let's go on that break. When we come back, we'll have the thoughts of the guys as regards the words of Amaju Pinnick, the Nigerian Football Federation president. This is Nigeria Info. We are Femi and the Gang. This is Game On right here on Nigeria's first news talk and sports station. Stick around, guys. We will be right back. Lofty Perch in Etimian Crescent, right here in Victoria Land. My name is Samuel Victor Akpan. Anthony the Voice is in here. Brownish is in here. Daisy Michael is in here. And Chuma Nolly is also in here. The only absentee is Femi Obong Daniels. He was supposed to be on this broadcast, but
No. Why did you bring down your
Feel free
voice?
to drag your Oga.
Okay.
now I'm just saying, according to the
He go meet you for
Your sack
he
letter
was
is
supposed
waiting
to
for
be on
you.
this broadcast.
Yeah.
But guys, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. Before the break, we were talking about Amaju Pinnick's comment on the appointment of Jose Peseiro as the new Super Eagles manager, and he said that he actually spoke to, we all know that story, he spoke to Jose Mourinho and of course Arsene Wenger as regards the appointment of Jose Peseiro. But that's not the only thing he had to say as concerns that appointment. He also went on to reveal that the manager Jose Sa is, according to his words, a big coach. Remember, in the first voice clip you heard, he said he was very impressive, and that's one of the reasons why he was considered for the job. Well, let's take a listen to what he had to say more as regards the appointment of the Portuguese international.
He lost his country. He said if not Portuguese, he will stay in Nigeria. We have a house in Abuja, and we have a guest house in Lagos. He'll be moving to watch all of this thing. And that one is, listen, he's setting.
Here.
He will.
You said it.
I'm telling you,
he will stay.
100%.
How much are we paying him?
They are still discussing that with the local committee headed by my vice president. They are looking at it's not just how much you're paying him. There are a lot of things, he's going to come with maybe 2 other assistants, in terms of backroom, which of course we allow. So there are a lot of details that need to be discussed. Okay.
So Amaju Pinnick revealing that the manager will stay and work in Nigeria. That's a very, very interesting one. We need to be on the lookout for. He's revealed some of the things that I think down the line we'll be able to say, hey, you had said this. He was quizzed and, asked again, should we take your word for it? He's going to work here in Nigeria. And he said, yes, he's going to be here. That's talking about Jose Peseiro as regards that situation with Nigeria. He also went to reveal, like I said, that he's a big, big coach by his on a recording, talking about Amaju Pinnick.
First, let me go back to you. Peseiro is a big coach. A coach, anybody that's coached Porto is a big coach. Braga is a big coach. A very, very big coach. All those
by association.
No, not by association.
Actual performance.
And the actual performance. He has also won laurels. If you look at when West Ham came, who knew him? Nobody. Bonfrejo knew him? Nobody. So it's not a matter. And a coach is as good as your last game. And that's the truth. Which coach has not been sacked? Tell me. No coach. Even if Arsene did not leave at the time he left, possibly he would have been sacked. There's no coach. Because if you want to sack it, you look at the sentiment of the fans of that particular polity or entity like Arsenal or like Nigeria or anything. So a coach is as good as his last game. So if you're not good enough, but when you look at other things, and a coach if they sack him, don't just sit at home and wait for another job. He needs to build capacity. He needs to improve on himself. And that's what some of these coaches have often done. Iguavon, to me, is an excellent, excellent guy. I've worked with him for the past 1 year. And trust me, let me tell you the truth. As a Nigerian, we will give him A to Z of the support. And when he reverts back to the role of a technical director, even if he wins the Nations Cup, we'll build a lot of capacity around him in terms of ease of doing his job. He's an excellent, excellent guy. But ask Iguavon, the last 3 weeks they've announced him as the coach, the kind of pressure and distractions he's getting from Nigerians, especially the so-called agents.
All right, so Nigeria's number 1 man for sports or football in Nigeria, Amaju Pinnick, has spoken extensively about the appointment of the former Saudi Arabia and Venezuela manager Jose Peseiro as the new manager of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Remember, guys, he will only take over finally after the African Cup of Nations. That means he will be leading Nigeria's charge to get to Qatar 2022, the World Cup that takes place later on this year. Now, that's so many things to take out of what he said. That's Amaju Pinnick. But I'm going to start off with you, Adeze Michael. You were always willing to talk about this from previous broadcasts. Today we finally have the chance to do that. Peseiro is a big coach. That's one. he impressed during the interview for bringing out a software and analyzing Nigeria like he's always lived and worked with the Super Eagles of Nigeria. That's another. And so many other things. I don't know what you've picked out from all of these statements by Amaju Pinnick, but when you listen to him say, how convinced are you now as to the appointment of Jose Peseiro to be the replacement to Gennett Rowe?
Sam, I think let me begin by saying that first of all, they threw out the kite by consulting Jose Mourinho, and it was an appointment that was through recommendation. And when sometimes some recommendation businesses and deal works, at least you have someone you can point to and say, you see, that's the way I say make you do is working, or the other person will say it's not working. So let's have it at the back of our mind. This was just a pure Jose's gig. He's not. Yes, in Africa he's come to Al Ali. He's got on paper he's got quite an impressive resume. Al Ali, he won the Egyptian.
Do you consider that impressive? That resume.
I'm getting somewhere. Sam. 2015, he won the Egyptian Premier League. He has things with Victoria Guimaraes in Portugal, Braga, Sporting Lisbon. I could go on and on. These are the notable ones, other than just little hanging. But his last job now was with Venezuela, and all of his appointments, because I had to go do some digging in. All of his appointments, none of them have really ended well. In fact, he left his last job, Venezuela, that was last year, because he was being old. And I hope he knows what he's getting into, talking about the new coach. I hope he knows that the fact he's even coming to the headquarters of, as in, people that owe, like they're going to owe him very, very well. We've not seen, it's okay to know the game. I was worried about the next handler of the Super Eagles to be someone that knows our players. Data of players are everywhere on the internet. Just give me about 5 hours. I'm going to download it. I'm going to give you everyone's strength and capacity, even as a pundit, even as someone that is not a coach. But let's not get carried away by some of these sweet quoted statements. Rafa Benitez at Everton impressed Farhad Moshiri. That was the reason why he got that job. But look at Everton today. Football is not played on paper. Football is not something you just sit. Everyone's got knowledge about football these days. 13 years old analyzing football, 10 years old analyzing football. But the real deal is that practical knowledge. How do you send the message across? When I mean message, to a bulk of different kind of players, how do you start hitting the ground running? Well, Raw has come and gone, but this particular coach now, we don't know what he's bringing. All eyes, Nigerians will want to see what he's going to bring for us. He's 61 years of age, not quite much different with Raw than in their 60s. So all eyes will be on, the new coach. Fortunately for him, he's going to be an observer. He's going to go to Cameroon. He's going to be on the sidelines, study the players more, study the camp, know who is who. He's not going to be involved, in any of the tactical decisions, of course, or naming any starting 11. But then all eyes will be on him. We don't know what he's bringing, like I said, how well he would fare with the Super Eagles in the next coming weeks to be clearer to everyone. But that part of he's going to stay in the country, I think that is where he fooled everyone. Even Raw, that signed its second contract that is going to stay in the country, did not eventually stay in the country. Do you even have enough security to have some of these expatriates roam freely around the country without any, trepidation that something's going to happen? So, these are just normal political interviews for me. We want to see the real deal. We want to see how he gets down with the Eagles. We must qualify for the World Cup. We must go to the World Cup and make a statement.
All right, then. So, Ade is expressing concerns and not totally convinced as to the words of Amaju Pinnick regarding the Jose Peseiro. Why am I tempted to always say Jose Peseiro's appointment as the Super Eagles manager? Anthony, you heard the interviews or the voice clips from Amaju Pinnick. His biggest, for me, looking at his history, that Peseiro has got to be replacing Julian Lopetegui back in 2016 as the FC Porto manager. That's spoken about some little stint in the Egyptian league and winning one or two laurels as well there. But are you impressed with the appointment of
Jose.
Joseph Peseiro as the manager of the
Peseiro.
Super
You
Eagles.
eventually
And
guessed it.
when you add that conviction with what he said, Amaju Pinnick, do you think yes, the right decision has been made?
You can't justify whether it's a right decision now. The end always justifies the means.
Off of where we are coming from.
I mean, still, because I can say boldly here that, I don't think it's a good, appointment, and then Jose comes in and there's a complete transformation, and it does great. All right, so it's easy to just throw words around, but like I oftentimes say, the end justifies the means. But from the point of a double outsider, you look at his resume and you look at the kind of a manager he is. Is he a top coach? Yes.
Pinnick says he's a big manager.
I don't think he's a big manager. Is he a top coach? Maybe he is, because given his experience, one of the difference between Jose and Gennett Rowe is, Jose have won stuff. Gennett Rowe had won nothing. Prior to being with the Eagles. Jose have won, a couple of trophies. And then you have to go back with what he did with Braga. You talked about the Porto experience. Ada talked about his stint with Al-Ahly, which was very short. As a matter of fact, there was a rebellion from the Egyptian fans that his resume was too poor to handle a team like Al-Ahly, and he was fired.
And we pick him up to a point.
Standards differ across board. Who is fine to you, might not be fine to me. What is fine to you might not be fine to me. So it depends on how you want to see. To Amaju Pinnick, he does think he's a big coach, but to me, I don't think he's particularly a big coach. He's what we can afford. Within our financial auspices, he's what we can afford, and he's a man that can do the job, but you can't beat your chest. You can't beat your chest and say, Jose is coming, and you are 100% sure or 80% sure that he's going to deliver the goods. It's very hard, because you look at a lot of the jobs he's handled so many teams, almost 21 club sides. Almost 21. And, in almost half of those teams, he's being sacked from all of them. He had done poorly in so many of those teams where he was expected to really do much. It is hard. It's a very dicey appointment. And like I said, we just have to wait and see what he brings to the table. But is he the best man for the job? Definitely not. All right, but is it what we can afford? Maybe yes.
I think that's what we have to accept. That's where Nigerians have to accept the reality we find ourselves in at the moment. The Nigerian setup is not enabled to have the world-class coach we're looking for. Guys who are the big names in the industry. Guys who have made a name in the past. We know there's a few African teams that have found a way to taste quality. At the point, I think Ivory Coast went for Sven-Goran Eriksson. I think Capello has come in, if my memory serves me right, to coach one or two African sides. But even when Ivory Coast went for a high-profile coach, he was with them 3 months before the World Cup. They went to that World Cup. They were in the group of death. They were with Portugal. I think they were with Argentina too. They won one game and they got knocked out. They just won one game.
Okay.
The last game
of the competition. So, the other time Cameroon went for Seedorf. Maybe not the biggest names in coaching, but a guy who made a name as a player too. What did Seedorf do? They sacked him. Nigeria beat that same Seedorf and it's Cameroon. So these things happen. It's a dicey territory where you find yourself. And I think we just have to accept that Jose is a man who can come in. There's an analogy that could work for or against. There's an analogy of he has not won anything serious, won the Premier League title with Al-Ahly. Looks like any coach that goes to Al-Ahly can win something with Al-Ahly, of course. Took Sporting CP to the UEFA Cup final in 2005 or something like that. Best records for him. But again, sometimes football doesn't play out that way. There are people who are successful. We had Betty Votes as coach of the Super Eagles in 2008, 2007, 2008. We had our worst Nations Cup in years. We were knocked out in the quarterfinals of the 2008 AFCON with a certain Betty Votes, who was a proven winner. I think he had led Germany to win Euro 96. Again, if my memory serves me right. So sometimes this thing doesn't work like mathematics. Sometimes you go for the manager who's won stuff before. He comes in and stutters with your national team. even the most least respected, I had to use that like most least at the same time. So you understand what I'm talking about?
Extremes.
Nigerian coach. You could criticize Christian Chukwu as much as you want to. You could criticize Shuabu Emodo as much as you want to. You could criticize him, Osine Guavon now. All of these guys got to the barest minimum. Christian Chukwu, bronze medal 2004. Osine Guavon, bronze medal 2006. Shuabu Emodo, bronze medal 2002. After after that he was sacked, and of course we know what happened. Adeboye Onigmide took us to that World Cup. So Betty Votes with all of the Betty Votes CV 2008. Nothing followed. Guavon had won bronze in 2006. 2 years after he brought the almighty Betty Votes, and he was knocked out to the quarterfinals, I think, by Ghana. So it's not on paper what happens in football. Let's be patient with the man. I'm not keen on Amaju saying so many things because he's told us so many things over the years. Yeah. But I think we should just be patient with the process and see what comes out of it.
But you would think, before I go to Brownish and ask the question, is this an upgrade or a downgrade on Gernot Rohr? That's the question I'm also going to be throwing out to you to answer. Let's not overflog, like Chima said, the CV and all that, but let's just simple question: upgrade or downgrade on Gernot Rohr, off of where we are coming from and where we want to be in the next couple of years. Do you think the appointment of Jose Peseiro as the replacement for Gernot Rohr takes us higher or brings us downward when it comes to the Super Eagles of Nigeria? With what he said, Amaju Pinnick, being a big manager, and he's also said that a manager is as good as his last result. Well, his last result says was fired by Venezuela.
He packed his bags and left.
It
was owed a lot of money.
There was a salary thing, but with the Venezuelan national team, he didn't do well. Won just one game in 10.
So that prompts the question as to, we have a technical committee that should sit down and look at this and say, okay, this is where we're lacking, and this is the steps we're going to take to appoint the manager who fits the bill. So clearly, it seems there's some sort of disparity. The whole Jose Mourinho, Arsene Wenger situation just paints a different notion as to what's really prompts us appointing this manager. But let me get your thoughts, Brownish. Upgrade or downgrade on Gernot Rohr?
To be honest, I'm going to sit on the fence on this one.
I'll push you.
Because you can't necessarily... So they say you judge a manager by his last game. He hasn't played the first game with Nigeria. In fact, he's going to be taking over after AFCON. So I feel like it would be a bit unfair. I mean, look at David Moyes, right? Came to Manchester United, was a total pipe. Gone to West Ham United. Now they're challenging for top 4 in European places. Do you get what I mean? Are you seeing a pattern? Right? So
I get what you mean.
You see why people looked at him and like, what the heck? Why Nigeria? Lagos?
It's not that
Come
deep.
back.
It's not that deep. But yeah, what I'm saying is I feel like he should be given a chance. I mean, he obviously came in and with a bit of technical. I'm saying
he's been given a chance already.
I'm not talking about the official appointment. We know that they can employ you, and everybody that you're supposed to be impressing will be like, "Who be this guy?"
Yeah,
right. So yeah, I just feel like the fans, if there's something that Nigeria needs, regardless of whoever they bring in, they can just walk out and find a madman on the street and bring him to come and coach Super Eagles, and we should support the person first, at the very least. There's something that, not to be vulgar, but
we should support, even if it doesn't obviously.
I said at first.
I mean, exactly. Even if it doesn't obviously, to the glaring eye, fits our bill.
Yeah, well, there's a saying. What exactly is our profile? We've dropped, to be honest. We are one of the highest ranking national teams in Africa, but our standards have incredibly dropped. We are not the 1994 team anymore. We're not even the 2000 team anymore. We've had a few great results here and there, but the difference between a good team and a great team is consistency. We've got some players who know what they're doing, but yeah, they are just that, players who know what they're doing. Look at Wilfred Ndidi. He goes to Leicester City and he's going absolutely bonkers. He's controlling everything. He comes to play for Nigeria and then you see him struggling. Literally, if it's not the quality of play from everyone else, it's the quality of the pitch, or it's the quality of just the ball they're using, or it's the quality of the officiating. There's always a problem when it comes to African football. So I think, first off, we need to, at the very least, give the new manager, Jose Peseiro, we need to give him enough rope to either
tie himself.
No, to either pull himself or pull Nigeria out of the gorge where Nigeria has fallen into, or to hang himself.
All right.
Sure.
All right then. So
you don't be. You don't talk your mind.
Do you know what I mean?
Everybody clearly not. I want open honesty. Let's come out and say, terrible appointment or great appointment?
Not terrible appointment.
Not terrible, but I think I would say average
Not
appointment.
terrible, not good.
Sam, I would say average.
No, me, I'm saying on my own side of the fence.
Okay.
Me others talk their own, but me, I say it's not terrible.
My own is average.
Average appointment.
Average appointment.
Brownish,
You know why?
We've got to go to the phone lines at that.
Brownish has been on the fence since, so now
Right now,
I want
it's
to
just
push him. I want to
No,
push
no, no.
anybody.
He's just an appointment.
He's just an.
It's just an appointment.
It's
He's not.
I'll call
He's
it
not an
average.
appointment. He never terrible or good yet.
Average that has capacity to shoot up, or average that has
Everybody
capacity
has
to
capacity
shoot down.
to do better.
But in all of this, all I see is sending our game and our brand out there, regardless of what happens inside. And let's not forget, this administration they have penchant for appointing foreign managers. But then what we do on the field of play does not transcend to all of those big crowd. I don't want to use the word cloud chasing. I'm really trying as much as possible not to use that word cloud chasing. But then we must show that there's a reason why we're going for the foreign managers. What have they achieved for us? Ganetro is gone. Another white man has come. Is it to send us out there that we have foreign managers just on paper, or we are ready to win laurels?
All right then, Anthony. Before we go to the phone line, 0700 993 993 993 01 465 7190. Terrible appointment, good appointment, average appointment.
Average.
All right. Let's hear from you. Turn down the volume of your radio set when you
I'm
call
on a
it.
hash for this
For
country.
me, it's a terrible appointment. I don't see how, with all due respect to Saudi Arabia and Venezuela, we are the Super Eagles of Nigeria. If you failed with Saudi Arabia, if you failed with Venezuela, it should be nowhere near the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Yeah, but
Let's see
the
what you
people
have to
that
say.
the
Standards.
Super Eagles would
Standards.
rather have.
Because everybody here cannot be against this guy. Good appointment.
Why were you ready to? Why were you
What
ready
I
to
was-
us?
what I was even going to say was, yeah, we're the Super Eagles. What have the Super Eagles done to make a manager that they actually want to take the job?
It doesn't take away
The
the fact
imagine
that
that one
in
AFCON
fact-
with Algeria. What is his CV with international?
Exactly.
So good appointment. I beg Peseiro, welcome.
All right. So
Thank you
let's
very
hear what
much.
you have to say. Turn down the volume of your radio set. Good evening to you.
What is an average?
Hey, Mr. Frank, welcome. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, good evening. I greet everybody in the studio.
All right, we greet you
you
too.
too.
Mr. Frank, we've got to go on a break, so you have to be very quick.
Okay. You see, Amaju Pinnick addressing the coach as a good coach and as a big coach, addressing Eguavo as a excellent guy. He didn't even recognize Eguavo as a coach. That's why he's addressing him as an excellent guy. Now, I'm picking my up from there.
Yeah.
Now, you are picking this coach because Arsene Wenger, you call Arsene Wenger and you call Jose Mourinho. Not
Yeah,
that
they
you
recommended
have seen
him.
working, or you are calling him because of his former performance. Now, you are calling him because you have seen your friends say you should carry him, that he's a very big coach. No problem. But let not Ganetro be better than him. Because as I'm seeing this thing, I'm not going to forget today's date that he's making all these appointments, saying that even the ministers know they're happy for him. No problem. Today's date is 4th of January.
We don't mark him for him. We'll go
I
remember
don't
him.
mark him.
We'll go
But
remember
when he
him.
will change, I will still call
All
and
right,
remind him of all these things he said today.
Okay.
We wish him good luck.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Mr. Frank. Good evening to you.
Hello, good evening, Samuel.
Hi there, Friday. Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening, everybody in the house.
Good evening.
Yeah, Samuel, if not mouth that they take we walk up, this thing is for don't we walk up. Samuel, I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
What do you expect Mourinho to say about his brother?
Well,
Going to
the
Mourinho
truth.
to ask him about this coach if
The
he's
truth.
good. Do you expect Mourinho to say that this coach is
I
not
don't
good?
think, according to Pinnick, Mourinho didn't say appoint him. Mourinho said, well, he's a good manager, according to what he said.
See,
So we appointing is now Mourinho that is appointing our manager for us?
See, the only thing that is good here is that this Pinnick is highly connected. If you ask Mourinho number, ask Wenger number, everybody knows number. The man is highly connected, which means if we are owing him, Mourinho can as well help us to pay him.
All right.
See, is it not the same Pinnick that called Olise the Guardiola of Africa? Now he's bringing the Mourinho of Africa. Only time we tell what will happen.
All right, then. Only time will
Thank
tell.
you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you. One final call before we head off on that break. Good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Hi there. Good evening. What's your name?
Yeah, Kayode is my name.
Welcome, Kayode. You've got 10 seconds.
Yeah, I just want us to be very objective.
All right.
Appointments them all over the world. Each any position is usually by recommendation, and then you are praising internally too. So the fact that they were recommended is very it's normal, and we should not make it seem as if it's a wrong thing to do.
All right then.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. Sorry, we have to let you go. A break is coming in. And stick around, guys. We have to go on a break. When we come back, more we get to hear from you. I will continue our AFCON build-up. This is Game On 993 Nigeria Info. All begins on Sunday in Cameroon. And guys, remember, the big news is, or the good news is, Femi and the gang and Nigeria Info has got you covered when it comes to every single kick, every single save, and every single goal out there in Cameroon. All 4 stadiums or 6 stadiums that will be hosting that one will be live to bring you all of the action from all of those venues for you. Live commentaries returning on this dial, like we did with the Euro 2020. Like we did with the previous African Cup of Nations, like we did with the World Cup in Russia in 2018, we can only guarantee you that it gets better with AFCON 2022. Live commentaries with Femi and the gang right here on Nigeria in for the African Cup of Nations 2022. But first, let's build up to that one, or let's count down to it. And today, remember, guys, we always do this when it comes to Game On here. We count down to the tournament every day from 8 p.m. to 8:15, giving you the very latest information when it comes to that one. And for today, we're going to be looking at the Group A and Group B of those tournament, the teams that are in there, and getting to tell you who's playing who and how the teams will line up. In Group A, like you already know, it's Burkina Faso. Like I used to say when I was young, Burkina Sofa. Cape Verde. There's Burkina Faso, Cape Verde. That's Cape Verde. Cameroon, the host, and Ethiopia, all in Group A. And the opening game will see Cameroon take on Burkina Faso right there on Sunday by 5 p.m. Burkina Sofa. With all due respect to the great, beautiful country of Burkina Faso. In Group B, we've got Guinea, Malawi, Senegal, led by Edouard Mendy, and then his able deputy in Sadio Mane, and Zimbabwe. Those are the four teams in Group B. And you want to look at this groupings. Starting off with Group A, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, Cameroon, and Ethiopia. Cameroon, certainly the host, and of course, four-time winners of the African Cup of Nations. You want to think they are certainly a favorite to go through in this one. I'm going to start off with you, Chuma. Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, Cameroon, and Ethiopia. When you look at this group, do you think what omissions do you think we might be having in that? Any surprises as to the teams in that group, or the ones you think, this particular team or nation would have made a good addition in this group?
Well, the positive of having 24 teams in the Nations Cup is the luxury of having as many as 3 teams qualify from some groups, and that always just eases the pressure and the tension in that group. And you call down the names of the teams in that group. Burkina Faso were, as recently as 2013, finalists of the competition, lost to Nigeria there. We'll not forget, in a hurry, one of the most handsome players on the African continent, Aristide Banse, who was part of that team, to Pitroipa. All of these guys shone like a million stars in that competition before losing to Nigeria in the final. They're not on the same pedestal anymore. We spoke about Geno Roy. He was the manager of that side before he left, and then came to coach Super Eagles, left them in 2015. So they're not on the same level as they were in 2013. But surely you want to look at past antecedents and say, hey, give them a bit of respect. Cape Verde have had their own fair share of tasting action with Nigeria. At least we know even more about Cape Verde in recent times than any other national team in that group, because we've played them in the race to qualify for a major competition. They were quite a tough nut to crack for Nigeria. They didn't get decimated quite easily, or that easily, against the supposed almighty Super Eagles of Nigeria. And Cameroon, our host, bro, we didn't even expect them to do that well as they did in 2017 when they emerged as champions of the competition. So it's going to be a beautiful group. If I got your question right, it was a case of which teams happen to be the favorites to get out. But you said something about adding extra spice there. Except you want to bring Benin Republic that did not qualify and put inside that group. It's not something I make too much noise about, the group stage of the AFCON now, because the quality of the competition has been diluted with the expansion to 24 teams. So it feels like serious business will start from the round of 16 stage. All
right, the serious business certainly, but the expanded format certainly will give us more glamour and more excitement in this one. Group B, Guinea, Malawi, Senegal, and Zimbabwe. Standout favorite, you want to think, is Senegal. The Teranga Lions, they are called. But Anthony, what's your take on this group, really? And if you were to take out one team that you think maybe might end up being the whipping boys of this group, which team that is not here at the tournament would you replace them with? Please don't say South Africa.
Well, he has to be South Africa. But if you look at the qualifying, maybe South Africa. I was trying to look at, Sudan was the country that stopped South Africa from actually qualifying. But yeah, it's a very exciting group, but not particularly competitive by the standards. Guinea, 13th time they're going to making their appearance at the Nations Cup, and I think their best result have got to be runners up in 1975. That team has got the likes of Naby Keita of Liverpool will be leading that that team, and then the Kamaras, Amadou Diawara of RB Leipzig also. They've got some really young players, young energetic players who know how to really play high octane football. So would be nice to see what happens with that team. And there was something I read about them because I think they are currently led by a military ruler.
Really? Within the national team, that the president told the guys, win it, or all the money we invested in you, you return it to us.
Yes, Cornel Mamadi, that's his name. So let's see.
Hopefully their nickname doesn't play against them, because silly national, the president will tell them, don't be silly.
So let's see what happens with that team.
Talk about motivation.
Yeah, really weird type of motivation.
It's like motivation. It's more like a threat.
It's like the kind of motivation that we have.
I return my money.
It's like the kind of motivation that normal Nigerian street football teams have, where if you miss one penalty, your coach will tell you lie down. 10 pressure, it's like 5 strokes of kid.
When you're being ruled by military, that is the kind of instructions. Tough law. They don't have your time for sentiment. It's tough law.
So Guinea, there's Malawi, who the weakest link in that group, the lowest ranked in that group. I think they've got a certain Gabadinho in Orlando Pirates who will be leading the line for them. But of course, the strong team have got to be Senegal, who are shining really bright in recent times. Just lost narrowly to Algeria in the last one. But I mean, this is that tournament that you maybe want to see the likes of Sadio Mane finally lay his hands on this for the glittering kind of career he has had club-wise. You want to see what he can do with this Senegal side at the Nations Cup. They were really close the last time, and this time they'll be hoping to get back to that final and see what happens. So, I think Malawi will potentially be the whooping boys, and Senegal expected to be the strongest team in that group.
Okay, so Senegal clear favorites alongside Cameroon in Group A to go through. Burkina Faso. Brownish, if you were obviously Cameroon in Group A to qualify, I would think you would say. But if you were to pick a team to go alongside them in terms of qualification, who would you go for? Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, who's certainly become an emerging force in African football, or Ethiopia?
Wow, that's actually very tough.
Ethiopia for don't win, I'm saying 1,500 meters.
Highly
5,000 meters.
I was going to say something, but I think I'm going to keep that to myself until we're off air, and then I'll tell all of you. But it wasn't necessarily about Ethiopia. Aside from that, I'm thinking Cape Verde seem to be, for some weird reason, they seem to be the potential banana peel for everyone else. Burkina Faso and then Ethiopia as well could get. They have the potential, at least a bit more than Cape Verde. But I don't think any of those. I would probably back Burkina Faso to actually go forward and go and get it, because to me they seem like the most likely team to actually go all the way, even if and give Cameroon a run for their money, But then again, we know that with African football, things don't necessarily pan out the way you would expect. But what I feel like, I think the Cape Verdean element of surprise has actually worn out. Because, in the qualifying stages, they actually showed what they were made of. They showed their stuff. So now nobody's going to take them as an easy mark anymore. And that on its own, I feel like a huge part of why Cape Verde was so dangerous was that people were like, they should be the whipping boys of the qualifying stage. And then they turned out that they were whipping some big boys in the qualifying stage, So I think that the element of surprise was one of the hugest things, one of the biggest things that Cape Verde had against the teams who make it a practice to actually be part of African football. But now you've got 3 teams who actually know what they're doing when it comes to African football, and then there's Cape Verde, who are just starting it. I think experience, despite the fact that these teams are not the exact same teams who maybe have gotten used to African competitions, but then again, experience and then the big club effect usually has an effect in tournaments like this. And I do think that Cape Verde probably would not necessarily shape up. They could have a few flashes in the pan, but I don't think they would have the consistency to go all the way. So for me, it would be Burkina Faso.
Adeze, in Group B, do you think the elements of superiority this time around for Senegal will wane off, and maybe we'll see a surprise from maybe Zimbabwe, Guinea, or Malawi?
I think Guinea's got players. 1, 2, 3 shining lights. You know, they're more like they may be the gritty dark horse, maybe the plucky dark horse as well. For Senegal, clearly the favorite. I mean, the look on Sadio Mane's face, he has one. In fact, I think it's. I'm not trying to, maybe make them look all clear favorites. Football is not. No one is assured of anything. Just one slight error, one officiating howler can get you out of the competition. But Guinea looks to me like that. Forget the threats, but when you've got an Keita, he could be a really, really huge factor in deciding games from the middle of the park. Can be a motivating factor to the rest, being the leader, of course. And I think it has to be Guinea and Senegal for me in that particular group. And then the loser has to be what team did you mention there again?
Zimbabwe and Malawi.
Well, these are the ones that will get beaten for sure. They'll certainly get beaten, but you never know. Africa these days, I also would like to say that we don't have minnows anymore. Should be Madagascar.
Malagasy side.
They dealt with Super Eagles. That was when we stood up and took note of what
and realized that the Penguins had a real effect.
And again, some countries have also embraced the new football. Some countries have sat down, rejigged their football from domestic level down to the way their national team play. I mean, there's quality everywhere. You may not know names, just like we didn't know Central African Republic. We didn't know them until Super Eagles got their foot off the gas and they were stunned. So I think it's going to be, predictably, you could say Senegal will get out of there, Guinea will get out of there based on their playing personnel. But nothing is cast on stone until the Mundial kicks off proper. And we're looking forward to it, Sam.
We certainly are looking forward to that one. Begins on Sunday in Cameroon. Opening game sees the host Cameroon taking on Burkina Faso. And what a cracking game that one will be.
That's a massive game.
The next, after that game, we'll see Ethiopia take on Cape Verde. That's Cape Verde. And Senegal take on Zimbabwe on Monday. First of those games in Group B. Morocco take on Ghana in another game. And the other game in Group B, we see Guinea taking on Malawi. So exciting times for the African Cup of Nations. I spoke about the fact that certain venues are going to be used. We have the Amadou Ahidja Stadium in Yaoundé. The Olembe Stadium as well is going to be used. Douala Stadium in Japoma is going to be used. Rumje Adija in Garua is going to be used. And the Limbe Stadium as well. And the Bafoussam Kokeng Stadium as well. These are strange names. Otuekon kind of thing. And it's quite interesting because Cameroon and Calabar are quite...
Ecom precisely.
Yeah.
Ecom is not far, just, that boundary. We have a lot of Nigerians in that particular city that Super Eagles will be camping. It's Garua, We've got a lot of Nigerians doing businesses there, hustling in quotes. I mean, so I think the Super Eagles at some point will have to feel at home knowing that their own people are there to cheer them on. So it's going to be massive, really.
Yes, certainly massive. I remember in 2002, 2004, that great Cameroon generation of the likes of Pius and DFE and
Olembe that you called, actually. That stadium, Olembe.
Those guys certainly look like Nigerians.
Pius and DFE, we used to call him Ikpo that year. The looks.
I certainly had it for them. But so they have it up to speed with what's going to be happening in Group A and Group B. Remember the standings: Group A, Burkina Faso, Cape Verde, Cameroon, and Ethiopia. In Group B, Guinea, Malawi, Senegal, and Zimbabwe. Yeah, those teams will be taken to the field of play at the African Cup of Nations. Remember, like I said, Femi and the Gang got you covered with live commentaries from that tournament, from the blast of the whistle on opening match day to the very final in that tournament. So you want to stay with this dial, and we got you covered with all of the action. So there you have it. Tomorrow, more African Cup of Nations countdown for you. I'll be looking at Group C and Group D, building up to that tournament that kicks off on Sunday, the African Cup of Nations, the 33rd edition.